The Red Notice is out for the world's most wanted art thief. Action-packed comedy heist film Red Notice premieres on Netflix today. It features a star-studded cast led by award-winning actors Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. I got to speak to the film's director, Rawson Marshall Thurber, and he told me how he chose his characters and what inspired him to create this film.
Well, I always sort of loved this genre. It's sort of a blend of heist, action, adventure, comedy, a bit of a swashbuckler, and I'd always loved those genres, and I wanted to put them together into one film. And when I was making my last movie, Skyscraper, in the back of my mind, this was ticking away, and I couldn't leave it alone. And eventually, Dwayne Johnson and I went out to dinner, and I told him the story, and he said, "I love it, I'm in." And once the biggest movie star in the world tells you that he wants to be in your movie, then you better start writing. And so that's how it started.
Okay, so with Dwayne in right away from the get-go, how did you get the other two on board?
Well, when I was working on the story, in my little notebook, I wrote Gal Gadot's name down, circled it, and she was the only person I wanted for her role. So I flew to London to meet her for the first time and to pitch her this idea. And I pitched her the idea, and she said, "I'm in," which I couldn't believe. So thrilled. And then I went away and wrote the script, and I've been a big fan of Reynolds for I don't know, maybe forever. And so I wrote that role with his voice in my ear as best I could do. And we sent him the script when I finished it. He was the only person we sent the script to. He read it overnight and said yes the next day.
I mean, as easy as that. I mean, I saw the movie, incredible. I mean, what was it like on set, though, having, those three together? I'm sure never a dull moment. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, all three of them are wonderful. They're all very different, of course, but they share one thing in common. And I think, and that's that they each of them takes the work very, very seriously, but they do not take themselves seriously. So they can laugh at themselves. They laugh at each other, and they're just really good friends all together. And we had a blast making the movie.
Well, I guess it must have made that a lot easier, considering half of the shoot was done pre-pandemic, and then you had to pause for a bit. And of course, this whole COVID thing, the adjustments that you had to make. What would you say would be the biggest adjustment that you had to make for this?
Well, sure. The pandemic kept us from traveling around the world, which is what we planned on doing. So we had to shoot everything in Atlanta. We had a large car chase planned throughout Rome. And we couldn't do it. We're about a week from shooting it, and we had to pull the plug on it. And I had to come up with a different opening to the film. So I wrote a foot chase through the museum that ended in sort of a very, very brief car chase, if you will.
Are looking forward to one of the biggest, production from Netflix. Any luck or any news about number 2 or a franchise?
We just got done making this one. I'm so tired. We'll see. I certainly have an idea for what I would do. I really love these characters. I love this world. I love this tone. I sort of know what I would want to do if we were so lucky to get to make another one, but there's certainly nothing official yet.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and looking forward, of course, to more movies from you. Thank you for joining us here on New Day.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure. I appreciate your time.